Hi guys, thanks for watching this video. I've got something really important I want to share with you, so appreciate you taking the time. I've written it down in a script here to help me stay focused. Please bear with me. Thank you. So, like I said, my name's Ryan, and I'm glad you found my video because I'm here to help. Over the past several years, through my own life journey and strong passion to find truth, I've learned the seemingly elusive answers behind disease and illness and how to achieve true healing. My personal experience with disease has led me to a new perspective I'd like to share, and I believe it's truly very exciting. You are going to learn how you can discover the root cause of your disease and the path to true healing. So buckle up, enjoy the ride. This is definitely a red pill situation. Just before we get started, I want to say that this information may be difficult to receive. I am bringing this forward to you in service and love to humanity, to end needless suffering and bring health, prosperity, happiness, and harmony to all. So let's start by firstly discussing the idea that we are a form of energy, constricted to the human body and senses for an experience. Essentially, you are one man or woman power, if we could describe it that way. Now, let me remind you of a famous quote by Nikola Tesla regarding energy. He said, "If you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." So when I think of frequency and vibration, I think of a musical scale with low pitch notes and high pitch notes. Higher pitch notes have a larger amplitude and rate of vibration, and therefore overall more energy. For example, high energy, high notes equate to high vibrational states of being and emotions such as happiness, joy, gratitude, abundance, prosperity, understanding, acceptance, and ultimately could be summed up as love. Some may even describe this feeling as a heaven-like state. The low notes then represent low vibrational, low energy states, states of being, and emotions such as judgment, resentment, guilt, shame, anger, fear, lack, sadness, which some may even describe as a hell-like state. This doesn't necessarily mean all high notes are better, as all notes on a musical scale have their fair purpose and place in the musical composition. However, there is a difference. Considering this, let us directly compare our human bodies to the notes on a musical scale, each individual vibrating in the frequency and energy of our unique self, and thus playing our unique note sound composition into the universe. What most people don't realize is the impact this has on our lives based on the note we are deciding to play or tune ourselves to. Let's go into a little more detail on how this relates to disease. When you experience disease and illness, it is due to the human body being stuck operating in the lower range of the musical scale, within the lower frequency, vibration, and overall energy. So what is key to your frequency and vibration? It's something that makes humans unique, and it's something that we humans create at all times, whether we're conscious of it or not. And of course, I'm talking about our emotions. Humans are capable of experiencing a wide range of emotions and expressing a wide range of emotions. And this differentiates humans from other forms of life. These emotions greatly motivate and impact how we perceive, act, feel, and thus create our overall tone or energy. This means that through the conscious use of our emotions, we can change our state of being, our vibration, our frequency, and energy, and this is very good news. However, there is also a hard truth here. The brass tacks of the situation is that ultimately, if you are experiencing disease or illness, you must be operating from a state of low vibration and disharmony, causing your body to then follow that lead and become sick. Now, don't think of this as negative per se. This is just the body's way of giving you feedback that something is wrong. Just as you experience pain when you scrape your knee, the pain is a helpful tool and gives us information that lets us know something is to be avoided because it hurts. It's very crucial feedback and ultimately contributes to keeping us safe. Now that we have discussed the reason why disease happens, let's keep digging into the details. Okay. You have the ability to resonate at any frequency vibration you prefer, but you are unaware of this. You have given away your energy without knowing it. So how do you raise your vibration, frequency, energy, and live in harmony? Here's the trick. The fastest way I have found to increase your consciousness. Let me explain why. Because you are in relationship to everything and everyone in your life and external environment. Essentially, your body, mind, soul is interpreting your reality through your unique perspective or lens. You are the common denominator to every interaction and relationship you have. You are constantly relating to your environment, exchanging energy, and assigning it meaning and feelings. You are the common denominator to every relationship you have. You are constantly relating to your environment, exchanging energy, and assigning it meaning and feeling emotions as a result. The way one has been raised and conditioned greatly affects that individual's perspective and the way that they interact with the world and the way they feel the world acts upon them. Just take 1 minute here. Thank you. This has significant consequences on your quality of life if not understood. Raising your consciousness is the key because it can change and upgrade your perspective, your energy, where more energy and information and possibilities exist. Changing your consciousness would change every aspect of your life, every relationship, which is what makes up your unique human experience. Your you inverse. Think of it this way. The world is always waiting to reflect your inner consciousness back to you. Wherever your level of consciousness is what will be mirrored back to you in your experience. This means that your consciousness, perceptions, thoughts, and emotions have a massive effect on your life and currently creates your reality. You are the source of what you're experiencing. Here is the biggest takeaway from this so far. You are the healer. You are the answer. You are the savior you've been waiting for. What I am saying is that you are ultimately responsible for making yourself sick. I'm sorry if that hits hard. I know it did for me, but it also makes a lot of sense. You need to know the truth if you want true healing. Personally, I'd rather know the truth instead of being lost, stumbling in the dark, anxious, scared, and searching for answers that seem impossible. So let's take a moment to reframe this thought, because this is actually the most amazing news. Because now you have your answer, and now you're in control. No more waiting on a magic cure, shaman, or someone else to come save you. This is your call to action right now. Step up, take responsibility for where you are in your life and where you want to be. You can heal yourself. You are truly the solution you've been waiting for. Ultimately, you are freely giving away your energy by misinterpreting your sense of self-worth and value. You have decided to dim your light, mute your symphony by putting your self-worth and value outside of yourself and giving it to the external world. You are surrendering your power and energy to the world in hopes of getting the validation you seek from it, instead of the internal knowing and value of your infinite self. One moment. Okay. So let's take a moment to go into detail regarding our unique human ability to express and experience a wide range of emotions. Most people believe that emotions are just a human byproduct of their external reality. However, this is a misperception, and the adoption of this type of perspective will make you a victim to your external reality. This perception is grossly inaccurate, as your emotions are always speaking to how you are perceiving yourself in a given situation, not the actual situation itself. And on top of this, your emotions are never wrong. Let me reiterate that one more time. Your emotions are always speaking to how you are perceiving yourself in a given situation, not the actual situation itself. And on top of this, your emotions are never wrong. Whatever the perception of a given situation is unique to each individual, and thus the emotions experienced unique to that individual, even though events experienced may be similar. This is significant because you have the power to change your perspective and therefore your emotions and your experience, directly affecting the frequency, vibration, and harmony of your body, mind, soul. Here are the three major factors that affect your physical, emotional, and spiritual states of being. So number one, your caretakers and your upbringing. In most cases, an individual will only become as emotionally mature and intelligent as their caregivers, and most adults are unaware of the significance of emotions and the factor they play in one's life. If a child is not unconditionally loved and accepted as themselves, the child assumes they must adapt themselves for the world to accept them. The child assumes, in addition to this, as children, we observe the emotions and reactions of our caretakers and parents and subconsciously adopt a similar perspective of the world, whether we intended to or not. This is why illness and disease are often hereditary, or at least the child will end up in a similar life predicament as the caregivers. It's not because we are at the mercy of our genes, but rather the mercy of our caregivers. Our caregivers are unconsciously passing down unhealthy worldly perspectives, behaviors, and emotions while simultaneously not honoring, loving, accepting, and nurturing a child for their unique self. Caretakers mold children into what they think is best for the child, or sometimes break the child to submit to the rules of the household. However, what is best for all children is to honor their free will and guide them to their own free will and choices. Why? Because that is where the child's highest vibration, frequency, energy, joy, prosperity, and harmonious path exists. It lies within their unique preferences, gifts, and perspectives of that individual, because that is what makes them vibrate at their highest harmonious state. This cannot be dictated or controlled by a caretaker or any other person besides the child themselves, because only the child knows what makes them excited and happy and what makes them ultimately vibrate at a high and harmonious frequency. This is all pointing to the fact that our emotions are the missing key. From this perspective, emotions now become an extremely important tool and guidance system that allows us to have direct influence on our personal experience. Your emotions are always guiding you to choose what state of being you prefer, with the external world reflecting your state of being back. Negative and low vibration Emotional states like fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, lack, and suffering are available to experience, to only understand that it is something you do not prefer, unless you do prefer it. Like the example of a scraped knee, our emotions are also providing feedback to assist us in taking care of ourselves and to prevent pain and suffering in the future. Unfortunately, we are likely to adopt the misperceptions of our caregivers and therefore repeat similar patterns of behavior, act irrationally and inauthentic. So I mentioned something called emotional intelligence. Just like IQ, we have an EQ score. As previously stated, an individual's level of emotional intelligence is linked directly to the level of emotional intelligence of the caretakers. This is the most significant factor to understanding an individual's emotional intelligence and why there can be such a gap between us and others. Your emotional intelligence has a significant impact on your life, much greater than your IQ score. Emotional centered consciousness is heart-based consciousness, moving from the head to the heart, where more information is available. If a caretaker is unaware of the importance of emotions or is disharmonious themselves, they will certainly create an environment that will result in invalidating and confusing the child's emotions, thus creating trauma for the child. The child will then misunderstand the importance and accuracy of their emotions, and they will likely repeat the same cycle of low emotional intelligence, repeating the same behaviors, having the same results in life, and even the same diseases as the caregivers. Ultimately, every child needs tools to effectively manage and understand their emotions, or they will continue the cycle of misperception and low emotional intelligence, leading you to act, feel, believe in ways that are unproductive to reaching a harmonious and fully potentiated life. The key here will be to understand your current level of emotional awareness and intelligence, and then to begin to learn how to increase it. The largest emotional intelligence upgrades exist when we self-inquire. We self-inquire to understand if there are any unhealthy perspectives or beliefs we have adopted that are not serving us. You will know when these unhelpful perspectives arise if you experience lower level emotions or emotional states. This is guiding you to show you there is a belief or a thought pattern that will need to be brought back into harmony. Understand that based on your childhood, you may be avoiding or chasing emotions that were never properly understood or discussed. This can leave a permanent impression on an individual, causing deviation from their highest potential life path due to the avoidance or quest for certain emotions. Until you decide to understand and face these emotions, to fully feel and understand why you experience these emotions in the first place, these emotions will end up being misperceptions that you continue to double down on. Okay, factor number 2, traumas. Traumas play a significant factor to all those who have experienced disease. Our level of emotional intelligence will also dictate how we perceive the trauma and therefore the level of severity or impact of the trauma on an individual. In many cases, when an individual studies their past and goes back to the time they first got physical symptoms and signs of disease, they will likely notice it was shortly after a very significant stressful event or time in your life. Why is this? The trauma experienced and perceived by the individual, which resulted in low vibrational emotions within, is what's keeping you locked in a perspective, narrative, or situation that is not true And as a result, you are experiencing lower level emotions and disharmony. Your past trauma can elicit a wide range of emotions in your current day-to-day life and interactions. We need to understand this. However, the reality of the situation is that trauma can shift an individual's perspective into a victim mentality. Now they go through life in fear, anxiety, endlessly trying to navigate each hurdle, either running from those emotions that were hurt or tirelessly searching for their external environment to confirm the emotions neglected by others and by themselves. So in essence, we go into the world with these emotional blockages, these blind spots, either stumbling into them and hurting ourselves and others, or looking for the world to give us confirmation of our value because we gave our sense of self-worth and value and energy away to our caregivers, teachers, governments, families, friends, etc. You have lost respect for yourself and let your light be dimmed as your confirmation that you are a victim and you are at the mercy of your external environment. This is not conducive to achieving your highest path and vibration, and therefore these traumas must be healed. The negative emotions experienced must be brought to light, studied to interpret the deeper meaning, to transmute the energy, or it will continually cloud your perceptions, leading you to react in unconscious ways and thus deviating you from your true path and highest harmonious vibration. This leads us directly into the next topic, Factor 3, authenticity and living in harmony. Okay. If you are experiencing disease, then you are likely living out of harmony with your environment because you are being inauthentic. Being inauthentic means that you are not sharing your true opinions, thoughts, and feelings. Instead, you are filtering them because you have a belief that it will somehow be better for you, as you want others to perceive you in a certain light. This is an incorrect thought pattern because it creates great disharmony in the body due to you saying and acting one way, however you feel and believe something different. On top of this, it is highly unlikely that your inauthenticity is getting you the results you were hoping for in the first place. This is very confusing and disharmonious to the body, mind, soul. As you express certain thoughts and emotions that do not align with your internal truth and is not honoring or respectful to one's true self. Somewhere along the inauthentic individual's path, they would have learned inauthenticity as a coping mechanism in the hopes of others accepting them. Their caretakers displayed conditional love, leading to the individual placing conditions on the acceptance and love of oneself. Once you're able to honestly accept and love yourself, your light will shine, your energy will radiate, and your fears and anxieties dissolve, allowing you to be the true self you were always meant to be. Often, inauthenticity can lead individuals to overextend and exhaust themselves physically and emotionally, ignoring their own feelings and desires in an effort to be accepted and hopefully have that same behavior reciprocated back. This often does not occur because of the imbalance of energy you're giving away in order to receive something back like acceptance. Once an individual unconditionally accepts themselves, they do not need to go out looking for acceptance in others, and unfortunately sometimes our caregivers are unaware to instill this in us as children, and sometimes can even intensify the children's misperceptions if not unconditionally loved and accepted, as we've discussed. It's the classic analogy of putting your mask on first in the event of an airplane emergency, so that you can then go on to help others. One cannot put the needs of others above oneself. It may sound honorable or righteous to sacrifice a part of yourself for others. However, you You are most helpful and valuable to others when you are vibrating at your highest frequency. You're healthy, happy, understanding, generous, loving, etc. The reason why no one can take better care of you than yourself, or no one knows what's better for you than yourself, is due to the fact that only you are aware of your perceptions and emotions, your greatest guidance tools, which must be honored. Don't give your source of validation to the external world. Start working on your internal world as your source of validation. Because then you are in control. It's time to stand up and become your biggest supporter. It's time to become the savior you've been waiting for. Now, let's remind ourselves one last time of Nikola Tesla's quote. I think after this discussion, you may see it from a different perspective. So I'm going to say it one more time here. If you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And in closing, it really just comes down to this. The severity of disease that one experiences is directly proportional to the disharmony within. You will know you are healed when you are in harmony with yourself and thus one with everything and everyone. All you will see is perfection. Ultimately, the answer is love. Love of oneself. All disharmony and distortion, including disease, is as a result of a lack of love of one's self. So as we wrap this up, I wanted to give you some practical steps forward if you're not sure where to go from here. So I put together a list of 6 things, and these are just things that come off the top of my head that I think could benefit you right now if you want to put something into action. So number 1, start honoring your emotions and opinions. Number 2, start meditating. Connect with yourself and get to know yourself better. This will help you explore, feel, and understand those emotions and traumas that may be causing misperceptions. Start setting boundaries. Boundaries let others know what emotions or experiences will not be tolerated by yourself, therefore avoiding some of these difficult emotions and feelings. Because most individuals with disease have a difficult time setting these boundaries with others. Number 4, use your daily catalysts as hints or indicators to where your biggest misperceptions may lie. Catalysts are events in your day-to-day life that bring up negative emotions or negative states of being. Number 5, check out German New Medicine. Based on your disease and the symptoms you have, German New Medicine has mapped out the underlying emotional conflict causing the disease. This still must be investigated by the individual in depth, but can greatly assist in determining the root cause of your disease. Number 6, email me. I'm putting together a questionnaire to help assist with the discovery of the root cause of your disease. I can assist, but I would need a lot of detailed information about your past. So there's lots more to come. Guys, I'm just getting started, and this is very exciting for me, so thank you for taking the time to listen. I wish you all the love in the world on your healing journey. It's a crazy ride with lots of ups and downs, but I promise you it only gets better from here. Lots of love to you all. Take care.